Hey guys, Chelsea here, and in this video I want to talk to you about independent clauses. So, you might have heard this word before. Independent clause basically just means that it's a sentence, right? It's a sentence, it stands by itself, it can function on its own, right? And you know that a sentence, in a very simple way, has to have a subject and a verb. Yeah? So, he sat, we ran, I won. Those are all sentences. Subject, verb. Cool, right. If something is a sentence, right, simple sentence, it is an independent clause. These are all also independent clauses. He sat. That's a complete set of information. There's a person or thing doing an action. Subject, verb. Got it. Yeah? We ran. Also an independent clause. So what happens if you don't have this, right? One of the things we end up with sometimes is what we call a fragment. Yeah? So, Fred. Well, what about Fred? What did Fred do? Fred isn't doing anything, so this isn't a sentence. Fred is just a noun. Yeah? Running. Again, running isn't doing anything. You could say running sucks, or running is awesome, or, you know, whatever. But running by itself, that's not a sentence, right? Cried. That's just a verb. Who cried? Did you cry? Did I cry? Did Fred cry? We don't know. And so there's no person or thing doing that action. There's no subject. It's missing, right? And even if we throw together a bunch of words, yeah, so sat on the chair. You guys can read that, you know, and you can say to yourself, okay, well, that's not a sentence, right? If it's not a sentence, what do we call it? We call it a fragment, right? Okay. But what makes it not a sentence, what makes it not an independent clause, is that there is no subject over here doing the sitting, right? He sat on the chair. That would work. She sat on the chair. I sat on the chair. Fred sat on the chair. That'd be fine. But my point here, the big point here, is just because there's a noun in the sentence somewhere doesn't mean that it's the subject, right? This sentence doesn't have a subject. There is no person or thing doing the sitting. The chair didn't do the sat. Right? That's not how it works. So we want to think about the role that each of these words plays. Yeah? And just be careful with it. We're starting to build this idea of rules inside of grammar. Grammar is rule-based. You guys love rules. I know you love rules. So it's rule-based, and we're going to build a little system of rules over here. Cool? All right, let's take this information and attack the next couple questions.